Hello. If you are doing Google Ads campaign and you are using Google Analytics or Google Tag Manager or whatever it's in Google, you should know about Google Consent Mode V2 because will take place in March this year. So will be a lot of updates that you need to do on the website. So today we will speak with Sebastian. Thanks for joining.
Thank you,
Um,
Alexandra.
Sebastian, we will discuss today about this Google consent, and I hope you will help us to understand better how is helping us, how we implementing it, what it is. So the first question would be, what is Google Consent Mode V2?
Thank you, Alexandra, for having me. Google Consent Mode V2 is an updated framework introduced by Google to help websites manage user consent for ad personalization mainly, and also to do the measurement in compliance with the privacy regulations. Now, you will probably ask, why does it come now? We have already GDPR and other laws and so on. So to
Exactly.
understand a bit the background is, so when we had GDPR and also the e-privacy directive, these two legislations clarified for the website owner what he can collect and he must collect when he has this informed consent. So it was mainly targeting the website owners. And now it changed through the Digital Marketing Acts from the European regulation. They aim to make the digital economy fairer, and therefore these six companies, as you know, they're referred as gatekeepers like Google, Apple, Meta, TikTok, and so more. They are now held responsible under the law to do something more. And that's why now we have the reason why Google is now forcing you to activate this Google Consent Mode V2.
But is it different from if it's version 2? It means that we had also version 1 before. Is something different now with this new version that they are launching?
Um, yeah, most and important for everybody that is listening or watching. If you fail to comply with this new policy, Google has the right to limit or suspend your use of the Google product and or to terminate your agreement. So which means like if you don't implement it, there might be some issues with your ads that you are running right now. So you asked how it does differ from the Model 1. Google Consent Mode V2 brings improvement in flexibility control over the consent management to the version 1, and it's offering also enhanced options for the advertiser to adjust to varying consent levels. Yeah.
Sebastian, this is only for customers or companies that are using Google. Let's say that an example is somebody that is not doing Google Ads at all. Of course, they
Mhm.
are using probably Google Analytics if they have a website, but they are not running ads and they are not implementing this Google consent. Is it okay? I mean, it's fine not to use it.
I mean, if you're running ads, you have to. You have to. And if you're just running Google Analytics, for example, you will have less data in your Google Analytics. Depends what you're doing with it. Because we know also lots of our, not our customers, but other people, they just have Google Analytics integrated. They don't pay so much attention to it. They don't use the data. But if you have an intention to get the best insights in your Google Analytics, for sure you should also implement Google V2.
Okay, unfortunately, this regulation will be implemented in March 2024, so in 10 days. How it
On the 6th of March.
on the
So
6th,
it's not
okay,
the
so we
first,
have
yeah.
2 weeks. We have still 2 weeks to align. How we are doing technically? Is it complicated? It's something that we need to do. How is the process from this technical part to implement? What are the steps to implement Google Consent?
It's a bit complicated because you have several options. So It involves configuring settings with the tag manager or directly in the website code, but it's recommended to do this with the tag manager. You have different implementations. If I can share the screen, I can also show you what Google showed me. 1 second.
Sure.
So now you should see my screen. And what I'm showing you right now is here you see the difference. So you have this advanced implementation and the basic implementation. The basic implementation, that means Google tags blocked until the consent is granted. So there needs to be an action done by the user in order that something is happening. And then you have the advanced implementation. The Google tags will behave like this. So the Google tags are loaded already before the consent when the dialog appears. And the tags send cookie list pings when cookie consent is declined. So which means like in the advanced implementation, it will send something, but it's not personalized what it will send. And
Okay.
depends on which implementation you decide. There need to be done different configuration. On one side on the website, on the other side also on Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics. So it means like, for example, you want to use the Google Tag Manager because you want lots of data. You want to use this modeling, which is also interesting. So Google V2 has now like a modeling version where it adds additional data to the data that you got already from the users when they give the consent. So I want to show you something else because I hope that makes it a bit more clear how it works. Just as an example.
Sure.
So when you can see here, the user visit your website or an app, then you see this consent banner. In one version, the user will say, I reject. So that means like we are now on this basic implementation, Google tags do not load, user does not convert, no conversion reported. If the user converts, there comes this conversion modeling. So it reports a conversion, but it doesn't let you know exactly what type of user. So the personalization is gone. And then we have the version with the consent banner where the user gives the consent. So the Google tags are loaded, user converts, conversion are reported without the conversion modeling that you can see on the left side. And if the user does not convert, no conversions are reported. And as you can see down here in this blue bar, the total conversions will be then calculated by the modeled and the observed conversions. So you still get data from users that reject.
But you cannot retarget them in remarketing campaigns because you don't have the data.
Exactly. That's a big thing. So all what you want to do with personalized ads, you can't do when you don't have this Google Consent Mode V2 activated. You can only do these personal ads, remarketing, and so on when you have it activated. And unfortunately, Google didn't communicate so much. So they communicated something in 2024. Google Consent Mode V2 is coming 2024. And then somehow in January, I had to check by myself because we also know since last week, Tuesday, when there was a meeting where Alex attended, that this mode will become in force on the 6th of March. And Google announced it kind of like in January, but not with a lot of communication. So that's why also a lot of agencies and also lots of customers, of course, don't know about this change.
Yeah. But I am thinking about GDPR, how GDPR was implemented in Romania, because in Romania a lot of things can happen. Is there any penalties or fees that we have to pay in case, I don't know, we are not doing it and we are trying to use the data from the website or the other, I don't know, other tools and to remarket the campaigns without this Google consent?
I mean, since 2018, when the GDPR came in force, you were already, as a website owner, obliged to follow the rules. But in practice, not many people followed the rules. I mean, um, the chances to get a fine was really low.
Yeah.
I can also speak. I mean, I can also see in Germany they're doing some checks there and so on, and there are not so many fines given when you don't have it implemented. So there was already a fine since 2018, and most of the website owners didn't know or didn't respect it or didn't care because what will you do? Your competitor is tracking you even without your consent, has more data, can run better ads, and so on. So um, the other one was like, yeah, do I want to play the game with them? Then I should also do this. Now it's switched. So now the European Union says to Google, now are you the gatekeeper? You have to ensure that they use your product and that they comply with the GDPR. So now it totally switched, and Google is now the one that can be held accountable if you don't get the consent from the users. So now you are kind of like forced
Yes.
to implement it. So the European Union tried now another way, and in this way, you can't go around. You just can't avoid to get a consent of the user. So you have to implement it. Otherwise, that's also what Google claimed when when they were asked. If you fail to comply with this policy, they limit or suspend your use of Google Ads and terminate your agreement. So you don't have a choice, you know.
Yeah. No Google, no business, no profit, no. Yeah,
Exactly,
it's
because
a big channel of of marketing.
yes, because when you're running your ads depends mainly on the Google algorithm. If this Google algorithm doesn't get enough data, or even these model data that I just told you, um, it doesn't have enough data, so your ads can't not perform as it performed before the Google Consent Mode V2. And on the other side, you can't do all the personalization, like the remarketing campaigns and so on. So this will you also give a bigger hit. So as a customer, you need on once the ads are not performing well, and you probably need to implement or to pay more money in order that your ads are running better. And worst case scenario, Google might not let you to do some ads because you didn't apply what they asked you to do with this new mode version 2.
Yeah. So overall, we need to implement this Google consent. If you have questions, let us a comment, leave us a comment, we will answer, and we can help you in case you need us, because at Reseven we are doing this Google consent implementation, and it's only one time action at least. So we don't
Yeah.
have to do it monthly, or I don't know. It's an action that
Yes.
we will do it once, and once it's done, everything it's okay, and you can be complied with Google new policy. Sebastian, thank you for your time,
You're
and see
welcome,
you at
Alexandra.
another Reseven talk.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye
Bye.
bye.